ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Saturday night. We're getting closer and closer to the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200 here at Five Flags Speedway. The half-mile track enduring two divisions here tonight for the Cars eSport Tour week number 2. We're going to be ready to go to the late model stock race coming up momentarily, but first we're going to go to the playing of the national anthem, so stay tuned, folks. We'll be back. It's Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen. Time for some feature action here for the Cars eSport Tour out on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. However you're tuning in, we do thank you, whether you're catching us on Cars Tour TV, out there on Twitch or YouTube. Thanks you very, very much for tuning in. I'm Dustin Caldwell. I'll be bringing you the action as it unfolds here at this half-mile over Five Flags Speedway. If you happen to tune in on Facebook to capture the qualifying action between both the late model stocks and the super late models, you got a treat here tonight. It was some great racing in the last chance qualifiers, and we're expecting to see some great racing taking place here in both of these 100 lap features coming your way. Taking a look at the track information here at Five Flags at the half mile oval here in Pensacola, Florida, warm Pensacola, Florida. As we take a look at the air temperature, 78 degrees in the air, 83% humidity, partly cloudy, and I tell you what, only a 1 to 3 degrees difference from qualifying that we're going to see here at the start of this late evening race, folks. And what a race it's going to be. We're going to have the starting lineup coming your way momentarily, but folks, if you tuned in last week to capture the first of the 10 race series opener at Southern National, Josh Dietz came away after 91 laps led at that race. He came away with victory. Josh Berry was looking for a double victory night. He got the victory in the super late models, was trying to back it up in the late model stock. Very close race, had 2 laps led in that race. Alex Scribner was another one that led early on at the 57 laps that he put down there, got him enough to get into 4th at the end with his racecraft that he had. Brad Wright ended up finishing 3rd, and Tanner Cook rounded out your top 5 last week. So we're going to have to see how this will play out momentarily as the drivers finishing up a little bit of practice times, had their drivers meeting, ready to go to the grid pretty much any time for this 100-lap feature. And Freeman Lawn and Outdoors, the sponsor here tonight for both these races. Call it the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200 here at Five Flags Speedway. And it looks like they are ready to go racing as they control changing the session over there to the grid. So let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup here tonight. So on the pole here tonight, the number 53 of James Linkowitz, fast qualifying time. We got to see it early on. He's going to have the number 4 of Daniel Williamson to the outside. Kevin Berg We'll be back on inside of row number 2 in the 50 car. Last week's winner and that 91 laps at Southern National leader, the number 9 of Josh Dietz, will start to the outside of that second row. Rounding out your top 5 in inside lane of row number 3, the number 48 of Brad Wright. He's going to have the 89 of Jeremy Adams to the outside. Looking back in row number 4 to the inside lane in 7th position, the 02 of Dwight Beverly will have the 18 of James Krahula to his outside. The 51 of Alex Scribner and Tanner Cook, the 96 car, will round out your top 10 and row number 5. Looking on back, the 71 of Ryan Doucette, the 31 of Brad Carpenter, the 3 of Hunter Combs, the 35 of Seth the Merchant, 98 of Lane Riggs, Thomas Hazard, Ray Partridge, James Finn, Garrett Strakota, Wayne Hutchinson through 20. Rounding out the field, Tommy Ryan, Wayne Cheetah, Ricky Harden, Scott Naslin, Brody Hayes, Cameron Hobbs, Stephen Matthews, Christian Peterson, Nathan Hurlbert, Cody Sanborn, the guys from your last chance qualifier making it in, and that is the 30-car field here for the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200 late model stock race. 100 laps on the docket for this feature event. As the pace car brings them around for the second of the 2 pace laps. We're ready to go racing. Here we go, pace car into the pits. As we look back through the field, here we go.
Green, green, green.
There's the green flag. We are off to the race. Already up front, they are on the move. And Linkowicz out ahead of the field. Some contact back there behind him between Berg and Dietz. Linkowicz storms out to a nice sizable lead over 0.4 of a second. Here on lap number 2, works his way into the backstretch. How about Daniel Williamson? Getting away from the trouble early on. Side-by-side action here as Brad Wright, the 48, to the inside of Josh Dietz. Little flip-flop action in the schedule this week as the late model stocks take to the track first in their feature. Last week at Southern National, they were the night race, and the Super Lates will have that advantage here tonight of a cooler track. Josh Dietz was looking to the inside there of Brad Wright. He's doing it again here in turn number 2. Trying to find a little bit of momentum out as he makes his way past the backstretch into the 3rd turn. Right behind the 48 of Wright, who in turn is behind the 50 of Kevin Berg. Right now looking to the inside of Berg. Side by side, he's going to be at the quarter panel, door level. In turn 2 to the backstretch, they're going to be side by side. Brad Wright looking for some momentum in that lower groove. He's going to hug the inside line, fades it out towards the wall, and Berg nearly making a contact with the wall. They're going to door rub a little bit. In turns 1 and 2, Brad Wright edges out Kevin Berg. He's going to move up to 3rd. Here comes Josh Dietz. Dietz to the inside. A little nudge there to the 50 of Berg. Berg to the outside lane. He's going to be pushed back as Jeremy Adams now looks to the inside in that battle for 5th. Single file action for the top 10 as they make their way around turns 3 and 4 here on lap number 7. Warmer temperatures making it more difficult to pass. We'll have to see if anything comes to life once they lay down rubber on this warm track here at Five Flags. Linkowicz, though, however, coming into the front stretch towards lap number 9. Almost a 0.6 of a second lead over Daniel Williamson. And it looks like Josh Dietz back there looking for 3rd as Brad Wright is going to get a little bump and run from Dietz. Pushed a little tight into turn 3, went up the track, and now Josh Dietz moving up into 3rd. Last week's winner currently leading the late model stock series here, heading into week number 2. Looking to pick up a back-to-back victory this week, the Night Machine into the front stretch. Jeremy Adams back there behind Brad Wright and Kevin Berg. Berg cuts off the top 5 there. Another guy who did well last week. Before we get to him, we're going to take a look at this caution that just come out. And not exactly sure. Didn't catch any incidents down there on the track. But we do see some spin out lines there from turn 3 heading into turn 4. And Stephen Matthews coming down pit road. Matthews here tonight. Part of the last chance qualifier, coming down to take a little bit of fuel down pit road. He's up 3 positions from where he started on the grid at the shotgun part of the field. Matthews making his way back out onto the track. For those of you who tuned in last week, you'll notice one thing different on the field. The new pace car, the Porsche pace car that iRacing has donated to the oval track world. As you see it coming off of turn 4 ahead of Linkowitz. Last week they had the Mustang, gold Mustang that they were running. And with the new updates that they've had and new changes they went around with, they brought out the new Porsche pace car. So 15 laps into it, folks. Let's take a look. Here is your top 5. 53 of Linkowitz still out front. The 4 of Williamson, the 9 of Dietz, the 48 of Wright, and the 50 of Berg are your top 5 heading towards the one to go here into lap 16. Linkowitz with the 14, now 15 laps led on the night. 1 caution, no lead changes. And again, this is the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200 here at Five Flag Speedway, folks. Week number 2 in the Cars eSport Tour. Still a 100-lap feature for the Super Lates coming up later tonight. Pace car into the pits. Here comes Linkowitz, ready to go out of turn number 4. Takes off. There's the green flag. We're back to the race in lap 17. And some push action from Williamson. Dietz is going to capitalize on it. To the inside, the number 9 of Josh Dietz. Now in second position. We got a staggered 3 wide. Out of turn number 4, it is going to swing the way of the 4 of Williamson. Wright trying to get around Berg. He's going to push up in turn number 2. Keith Berg to the inside of Brad Wright. That 50 truck car trying to get into 4th position. Here comes Jeremy Adams. Near 3 wide action back behind him. And the 48 car of Brad Wright remaining competitive on that outside line in such warm conditions. Over 100 degrees at the start of this race, folks. And you can definitely see that Brad Wright flirting with the wall out of turn number 4, trying to hold on to it. A little push there in 1 and 2. That's going to give way to the 50 of Berg, and now Jeremy Adams trying to sneak underneath as well. As Linkowitz crosses the start-finish line, 20 laps complete. We're 1/5 of the way through the race here at Five Flags. Right to the outside. Berg clears Wright, comes back down into the lower groove. Jeremy Adams now to the inside of Brad Wright. Off of turn number 4, Wright flirting with that wall. 51 car there of Alex Scribner. Trying to join in the fun there in the battle in a very aggressive move. He's going to turn Jeremy Adams. Adams with a beautiful save, no caution flag. How about that? To the inside comes Hunter Combs. Oh my! I tell you what, folks, what a beautiful save. An aggressive move from Brad Wright to come down to the inside groove. Jeremy Adams with a beautiful save. Only he's going to lose about 2 positions out of it. He's now trying to fend off Hunter Combs. He's going to come back down to the lower groove. Oh my! The aggression here in week 2 is showing. 35 will set the Merchant to the outside of Hunter Combs as they battle across the start-finish line here into lap number 25. These guys battling it out here for 8th position. Hunter Combs is going to lose that bound. It's going to swing way to the P-Money Designs 35 will set the Merchant as he comes off of turn 4 behind Jeremy Adams. And it looks like some issues there up ahead, as Williamson was pushing just a little bit. We got another caution flag out on the track. And whoa, Christian Peterson with a lot of smoke coming out of his car. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. Peterson to the outside line. Not sure he's going to be the cause of it. 2 cars up ahead as we see the 33 of Scott Naslin just up ahead. May have gotten into some contact there. Oh, and there's a big traffic jam. Everybody's going to come down and meet at the wall. A little race party action there in turn number 4 towards the front stretch. Everybody's invited. Bring the Chex party mix. Oh my, they are all meeting up there. Big heavy traffic jam as we see the 70 of Cody Sanborn trying to slow up as well. And I think there's a little bit of words being exchanged down there. And Christian Peterson, one of the few drivers down there that's going to have the brunt of the damage, head-on collision with the wall. He's going to have some major smoke coming out of the back of that machine. He's down. Naslin down on pit road. Peterson as well, and they both, not sure, they are questionable to return back to the track. Well, as we look to get closer to the 30% mark of this race towards lap number 30, it has been crazy so far. Great racing, everybody fighting hard in these warm, unfavorable conditions. Everybody wants that lower groove, as we saw Brad Wright trying to take command and get into that lower groove. How about we take a look at the race summary? So there's your race summary as we get the 1 to go signal. 2 cautions, no lead changes so far here in the 29 laps completed. Here's your top 5. Linkowitz, Dietz, Berg, Williamson, and Wright. Don't count out Jeremy Adams, though. He's coming back. Pace car set to go into the pits. Here we go. There it goes. Linkowitz to set that pace, and the 50 car is ready of Berg. Berg looks to the inside. Back to the green on lap 31. And I tell you what, Berg said, you either get moving or I'm going to move you. And Linkowitz now capitalizes with a 2/10 second lead heading into turn 3. Josh Dietz back in 3rd, Brad Wright 4th. Jeremy Adams to the inside of Daniel Williamson. Little side-by-side action heading into turn 1 and 2. Dietz to the inside of Berg. Into the backstretch as they make their way down towards turn number 3, Keith Berg to the outside. What a battle for second. Little bit of contact coming off of turn 4. Josh Dietz to the inside. They are running hard. And Dietz will win the fight. Wright tags the quarter panel of Berg. Berg stays up. Does not come back down as Brad Wright. He's going to be the quarter panel master before it's over. They're trying to save it. Keith Berg is going to go for a spin in turn 1, and that's going to bring out another caution flag. Call Brad Wright the quarter panel master, collecting 2 of them here tonight. First with Jeremy Adams and with Keith Berg the second time. Berg not able to be as lucky as Jeremy Adams and save it. Let's go back and take a look. How about the battle there with Josh Dietz coming out of turn 2? And you're going to see a little turn here off of turn 2 as Brad Wright was trying to tell Keith Berg, I'm there. And Wright yet again, here's the tag off of turn 4 that's going to start it. The looseness from Berg. Berg trying to save it. They're both going to go to the inside, and unfortunately, Brad Wright backs off. Berg just loses control heading into turn one, and around he goes. Jeremy Adams to the high side is going to avoid it. Daniel Williamson tries to avoid it. He's going to have a little bit of contact in the 51 of Alex Scribner, and that Menards machine is going to come up and eventually get into the side. So there you have it, folks. That is the next caution coming out here tonight in a battle for position. And as we see Scribner and both Berg come down pit road, they're going to try to get a little bit of the damage repaired and a little bit of fuel action as well. Looks like we're going to see a wave around possibly here for Brad Carpenter. And as Scribner comes back out on the track, Carpenter is going to pick back up another lap. So Linkowitz still out front. Dominant night here for the 53 machine. Michigan City, Indiana driver. I think it's Lakotko, the sponsor there on the hood. I hope I get that name right. Of course, Josh Deeds back there. We seen him last week. The Hebron, Kentucky driver, Global Com sponsor on that car. That bright yellow, definitely an intimidation factor, especially in a late evening race like this with the sun. Maybe get a little reflection off of it, I'm not sure. But Linkowitz definitely not feeling the pressure, staying up front. 1 to go signal from the flag stands. The lights come off the pace car. They begin bunching up double wide in turns 1 and 2. It will be James Linkowitz setting that pace coming off of the turn number 4. Dietz will be to the outside. Adams. And now this time, Brad Wright to the outside. A little bit of return fire possibly from Adams coming your way, folks. We'll have to see how it'll play out. Pace car into the pits. Here comes Linkowitz ready to go from turn number 4. He takes off. There's the green flag. We're back to the race on lap 40. Dietz diving down, trying to get down there. Oh, and Wright's going to tag the bumper of Dietz. Dietz trying to get back down into the lower groove. He's able to do it. How about Brad Wright now to the outside? And look who's behind him, Jeremy Adams. Wright still to the outside as Dietz tries to clear him in the backstretch, not able to do it. Brad Wright, one of the few drivers that is pretty competitive on the outside groove. Down the front stretch, across that start-finish line, and Wright tries to come back down. And the moment of redemption for Jeremy Adams was at hand. Keeps Brad Wright out of the lower groove. It's going to send him up into the high part of the track in turn 3. And now Jeremy Adams looks for third position. A little bit of give and take there as Jeremy Adams to the inside. Hunter Combs now works his way underneath Brad Wright in the backstretch. Oh, and Jeremy Adams is going to get loose again. How many times does he have to save the car? Unbelievable. Sign that guy up for saving school. Put your money in the bank on the 89. He saves it again. Now, I'm not sure it was contact from Brad Wright or if he just got loose. Either way, another great save by Jeremy Adams in that 89 car. Now the 71 of Doucette looking to make a statement to the inside of Wright as he's looking for a top 5 slot. Has the nose across the start-finish line underneath Wright. Wright to the outside, back behind him is Thomas Hazard. Hazard to the inside. It's getting anxious. Wright once down in the lower groove. Back comes Jeremy Adams from the depths. Double pack action across that start-finish line. Doucette wins out. He's going to move up into the top 5. The 5 car of Thomas Hazard now edging out Brad Wright. Wright now has Jeremy Adams at turn number 3. Adams. They are battling hard. Lap traffic in the way up ahead. for Ryan Doucette. Doucette's going to try to come down, makes it 3 wide. Hazard goes down to the lower groove. Doucette's forced out. Here comes Wright down into the lower groove, right in front of Jeremy Adams. Ryan Doucette up to the high side, cannot get back down. Caution flag comes out. And a big pileup involving Keith Berg, Alex Scribner, and I think Cody Sanborn. Not sure I saw the smoke down there. Thought I saw the 70. Let's go back and take a look. Heavy damage from Keith Berg from early on. Right there, caved in back right bumper. Incident coming off of turn number 4 as we follow him down the backstretch to the inside of that 0-2 machine. And right there, they're going to make some contact. Around goes the 0-2 car of Dwight Beverly. Beverly's going to climb the track, gives a little return fire back to Keith Berg. Scribner nowhere to go. Is going to meet Beverly up to the high side. And now we're going to see a slew of cars go spinning around. And lots of damage being done there to different vehicles. Beverly is going to have some heavy sustained damage as well. Brad Carpenter showing up late to the party. Will not have any contact. And as we take a look down pit road, Dwight Beverly taken out right there, Alex Scribner. Carpenter's going to come back out as well as Keith Berg. How about Keith Berg? What a trooper enduring all of that early on incidents in that car. Sure has seen better days, especially that back bumper. It's like the train wedge that you would find a cow pusher on the front of a locomotive. The way that it's been in on both corners of it. Who knows? It might actually have some aerodynamics to it. Back up front, let's take a look at your top 5 as Linkowitz still the man to beat up front. 51 laps now, 52 total led as he crosses the start-finish line. Josh Dietz, last week's winner, in second. Hunter Combs third. Seth the Merchant fourth. And the 71 of Ryan Doucette now up into the top 5. Race summary. Out of the 52 completed, 4 cautions, no lead changes. Here for the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200 at 5 flags. As we get past the halfway point of tonight's race, folks, just want to remind you, everybody out there in YouTube, make sure you have a question ready for the top 3 drivers that finish here tonight. We want to take your questions and get a few of them asked to your favorite drivers who finish in the top 3. It's always nice to have a little audience participation. Of course, we ask that you keep them PG. Ready to go back green. Lights off that pace car here on lap 54. It'll be the double nickel when we get the green flag. Linkowitz still the car to beat. And it looks like we have a little bit of hang up, little miscommunication there on possibly James Finn to the inside. Not exactly sure what's going on there. We will be extending past lap 55 under the yellow. Finn went to the infield, not exactly sure what the issue was on the car. But the pace car will be heading into the pits, this time by Linkowitz to set that pace coming back to green. Pace car into the pits. Here comes Linkowitz to the outside of Dietz. He's ready to take off. Combs behind Linkowitz. Off of turn 4, here we go, the green flag flies. Combs to the bumper of Linkowitz, pushing him, trying to get him out ahead. As Combs did not want Dietz to come back down. Dietz with a little bit of crossover in turn 3 is going to be to the inside of Hunter Combs. Combs was in second for a half a lap. And now Josh Dietz to the inside of Hunter Combs. Combs comes back down in front of Doucette. To Merchant, to the outside of Doucette. As they battle side by side through turn number 4 into the front stretch. Brad Wright, right behind Doucette, kind of split in 2 lanes there. He's going to look for the lower groove. Thomas Hazard back behind him. Doucette to the inside of DeMerchant. Wright looking for a chance to come down into the lower groove. Doucette losing the battle down low as DeMerchant to the high side may have the option to come back down in the backstretch. As they continue to battle through turns 3 and 4, Seth DeMerchant on the high line has the momentum off of turn 4, clears Doucette. He can come back down to the lower groove. Brad Wright once again to the outside of Ryan Doucette. In the battle there for 5th position, Thomas Hazard looking on ahead. He'll be in that lower groove. DeMerchant not happy with the lower groove there, comes back to the outside line. How about Josh Dietz up front, really putting the pressure on James Linkowitz. Linkowitz just barely a 0.2 of a second gap ahead of the 9 car of Dietz. Into lap number 62. Dietz wants a back-to-back win. Sure, he would love that. Hunter Combs just about 0.8 of a second behind Linkowitz heading into turn number 3. DeMerchant edges out Doucette. Doucette now flip-flopped with Wright. He's to the outside of him. He's going to clear him into turn 1. Does not want to come back down to the lower groove just yet. Thomas Hazard trying to close the gap, and there is Jeremy Adams in a nice little battle there with Cameron Hobbs for 8th. Hobbs to the outside of Adams. Hazard looking to the inside of Wright. Dietz ready to take the lead. He's going to do it. In turn 4, there's going to be some contact. Little bump action. In turn 4, Josh Dietz takes over the race lead on lap number 65. A dominant night here for the 53 of Linkowitz goes by way of the pass from Josh Dietz in turn 3. And what a beautiful maneuver. Little slowed up action to get around the 53. But now that he's up front, he's extended his lead to almost a half a second over Linkowitz. Linkowitz looks to be falling off the pace just a bit. Hunter Combs tags the wall before entry to turn number 3. Seth DeMerchant back in 4th position. Doucette clearing Brad Wright for 5th. Laps winding down quick here at 5 flags. Linkowitz trying to get back closer to Dietz. He's about 0.6 of a second off of him here into lap number 68. Thomas Hazard trying to hold off Cameron Hobbs while trying to catch Brad Wright. Hobbs looks to the inside of Hazard here in turns 3 and 4. Hazard will clear Hobbs across the start-finish line. Brad Wright once again running that outside groove, still remaining competitive. As Wright currently holding on to 6th position, sees Hazard to the inside. And Doucette with a little bit of push on the 71 car just ahead of him. Side-by-side action continues into the backstretch here on lap number 70. 30 laps now remain as Linkowitz and Dietz both cross that start-finish line. Dietz checking out on the field to over an 0.8 of a second lead as he makes his way into turn 3 here on lap 71. Less than 30 laps now remain, and the 9 car of Josh Dietz looking for back-to-back victory in a dominant slot here in the late model stock. Combs looking to get around Linkowitz. Not really doing at this point in time. Seth DeMerchant back there in 4th. Doucette in a comfortable position in 5th as Hazard has now cleared Brad Wright to take over 6th here on lap 73. And now Cameron Hobbs looking to the inside of Wright. And is he going to have a quarter panel dangerous zone? Call it the danger zone. And here comes Jeremy Adams. Dominant move into turn 1 to the inside. He's going to lean a little bit on Hobbs. Hobbs unaffected. Looks a little loose though coming out of turn number 2. And now the 12 of Wade Cheetah into the action. Wade Cheetah back there in 10th position. little bit of side-by-side action with Brody Hayes. Hobbs, though, clearing Adams. Hazard still to the outside of Ryan. Brad Wright looking to the inside of Hazard. Hazard blocks, throws that car down into the lower groove in turn 3 to edge out that 48. Forcing him to go high, and Brad Wright yet again will be forced up high in turns 1 and 2. Here comes Cameron Hobbs. Hobbs in front of Adams. Single file action back with these drivers. Let's jump up into second is James Linkowitz. Driver who led 62 laps on the night, back in second, about 0.8 of a second behind that guy right there, Josh Dietz, who is now looking to pick up 16 total laps led as he heads into lap number 79. Dietz in cruise control mode. Next time by, it'll be 20 laps to go here in the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200 for the late model stocks. Cameron Hobbs looking to the inside of Wright. Wright to the inside of Hazard. Nice little battle back here for 5th position. Thomas Hazard currently has it. He's going to push up in turns 1 and 2, trying to keep that outside momentum going. Brad Wright is going to settle up right behind him. Here comes Cameron Hobbs to the inside of Wright in turn 3. Little stagger action. Jeremy Adams now looking to the inside of Hobbs. Hobbs working that lower groove to the inside of Wright. Looking for that 7th position slot as he slides to the inside. Brad Wright can't come back down. He's got to stay to the outside line. Thomas Hazard still holding on to that 6th position slot. Brad Wright right there behind him. Hobbs going to look again for that lower groove in turn 3. Oh, and Jeremy Adams, a little forceful punch to the bumper there, trying to get him out of the way, and it does work. Cameron Hobbs forced up the track just a little bit, and Jeremy Adams, oh, and Wade Cheetah looks to make it some 3-wide action. Jeremy Adams trying to get around Cameron Hobbs. Was doing it a little bit forcefully, a little physical action to the back of that 29's bumper. And Wade Cheetah, how about this driver right here? Wade Cheetah tonight, starting 22nd into the top 10 with 15 laps to go. Beautiful night there for that USA.com Chevrolet. Brad Wright again looking to the inside of Thomas Hazard. As we take a look at Hunter Combs, back in 3rd, has fallen off the pace from James Linkowitz. Linkowitz has fallen back to almost a 2nd gap behind Josh Dietz. Dietz now staring down lap traffic ahead. It's Brad Carpenter up front. We'll have to do a little masterful maneuvering around that 31 car. Doesn't need to be too aggressive as he's got the gap currently over a 1 second, almost a 1.1 second gap over Linkowitz heading into turn 3. Take a look back as Cameron Hobbs still fighting with Brad Wright to the inside, trying to get around that 48 car. Working that lower groove. Jeremy Adams back behind Hobbs. Brad Wright comes down to block the progress there of Cameron Hobbs. Hobbs is going to bounce off the wall. Knows Adams was going to try to dive it inside. One comes down and protects a potential inside pass there from Jeremy Adams. Wade Cheetah running the outside groove behind Jeremy Adams, back in 10th position. How How about the change in line and approach to these turns? Drivers who were solid early on in the race working the inside grooves now find themselves working the outside lanes on entry to turn 1 as we watch Brad Wright. Take a look at this line. Wright working way up towards the dotted line there. A little bit of line split. As you can see, the track itself is really rubbering up on that inside groove. And folks, we got about 8-7 laps now remaining in the race. Tanner Cook back there in 11th position in a nice little battle. There with Brody Hayes, he's going to clear him, the Rockstar Energy 96 machine side by side with Brody Hayes in the battle for 11th position. And they're still going at it around here with Brad Wright, Cameron Hobbs, Jeremy Adams, who is now to the inside of the 48 car. 6 laps to go. Oh, and here we are. Jeremy Adams not able to clear Wright. Dietz maneuvering through lap traffic around Garrett Strakota. 65 car just ahead. That is Wayne Hutchinson with 4 laps to go. Linkowitz back in second under 1 second gap. Looking to clear the 77 of Strakota as Dietz works the inside of Hutchinson. An outside pass from the 53 of Linkowitz. 3 laps now remain here in the late model stock feature at Five Flags. Dietz, nothing ahead for him but clean air. Off of turn 4, the next time by, it's going to be the white flag. Linkowitz, though, closing the gap under 9/10 of a second now. Not sure he's going to have the momentum as Dietz. Off of turn number 4, stares down the white flag. One more lap to go. Looking for back-to-back victories here in the late model stock. Week number 2. Got victory at Southern National in week 1. Here he comes off of turn 4 to the checkered flag. Your winner in the late model stocks here tonight, Josh Dietz. Linkowitz will get second, Combs third, DeMerchant fourth, and Doucette finishing in the top 5. What a battle, what a race here at Five Flags. Week number 2 of the Cars eSport Tour late model stock. And there's your winner right there, Josh Dietz. Coming down for a nice little burnout. As we wind things down and look to get you some driver interviews, folks, we're going to bring the results up on the screen. Your top 10 there. Only one lead change in this race, folks, between Linkowitz and Dietz. Dietz finishes out a total of 38 laps led. Linkowitz gets 62. And between those guys, that's your 100 laps of laps led. As we look to get a driver interview, we're going to go start with third position here. And joining me now in third position, the number 3. And I think the last time we had a chance to talk and you finishing in a feature in third there, Hunter, comes back all the way to the Sim-Auto Racing Association Fall Brawl Spectacular here at Five Flags. Out of Mentor, Ohio, the Posse Group, and you're taking this car back to third, a podium finish here at Five Flags. You definitely got third dialed down here for this track. Tell us a little bit about your race tonight.
Yeah, it was all right. I messed up qualifying really bad. I didn't want to be back that far. I think I started 13th, and we had a good car for the win. I just started too far back. These 100-lap races, they go by quick, especially with some caution laps. And I'm getting sick of finishing third. That's for sure here. But I'll take it for now. And I thought the leaders were going to get into it there that one turn, so I thought I might have had something there. But I'll take it third for now. Try and get them in the super race.
you definitely found yourself around a lot of battling going on here tonight and kind of running under the radar, just kind of running your own race, and it definitely pans out for you as you've seen guys like Jeremy Adams, Cameron Hobb, Brad Wright really battling it out, especially with Seth the Merchant. You even had a nice little bout with him there. Did the track change a little bit? Did you see some dynamics? Because we had a hot temperature heading into this race, 104 degrees. Did that, knowing with that knowledge, I mean, how did you set yourself up to be able to remain competitive?
Well, the inside, I didn't think the inside was going to get that slick that quick. I mean, it was lap like 20-something. I mean, I was getting past on the outside like it was nothing. I was a little bit tight at the beginning. Once you had some fuel burn off, it started coming back around a little bit. Those guys set their cars up a lot more freer, I could tell. So they started motoring by me on the outside. So I had to move up to the outside. But we moved up there and we started picking off some spots. I got lucky, a couple wrecks in front of me. So it's got to be some luck to it. I got third. I'll take it for now, but I'll try and win this next one.
All right. Well, best of luck to you. Is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your third-place finish in the late model stock?
Oh, yeah. James Linkwitz, he helped me with setups and all. This is a new league that we're running in, so different changes to the Sarah League, but especially James and the posse, for sure.
All right. Well, congratulations to your third-place finish here at Five Flags. We look to see some action out of you in the Super Lates to come.
Yep. Thanks for putting this on.
There you have it, folks. Hunter Combs, the number 3 machine, out of Mentor, Ohio, coming in third here at Five Flags. We're going to be joined now with a driver dominant early tonight. Fast qualifying time, found himself out on the pole, led the first 62 laps of this feature, and a very solid night for you, James. You take that car all the way into a second-place finish, and I tell you what, definitely doing your sponsor proud. Come all the way out of Michigan City, Indiana, and come down here to Pensacola, Florida, into Five Flags virtually, and take second. Tell us a little bit about it.
That's a real tough track for me. Usually I struggle here, but we had pretty good setup and kept it underneath us the whole run. And Josh was just a little bit better there, and once he got by us, we could hang there. He says he was saving, but I'm going to call bull on that. But he did dirty me a little bit, which, it's good racing for the lead, but I'll remember that for next time. It's all good, but yeah, it's a good run overall.
Definitely seeing a warmer track temperature here tonight in the start of the feature. A little bit cooler, I should say, from when you went qualifying. It was about 107 degrees when you went qualifying, and noticing how that track was warmer when you qualified and a little bit cooler when you actually went to race. Did you have any thoughts about how you should prepare that car and get it ready for the feature?
Pretty much our base was pretty good in everything we ran in it, and little adjustments here and there, but I mean, it was good. It wasn't perfect. We'll get it better for next time.
All right. Well, is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your runner-up finish here in the late model stock?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone, the posse and Loco Toco Designs for their great paint schemes, and just appreciate you guys and everything you do with this.
I definitely appreciate the pronunciation on the sponsor there. I've been getting it wrong. So Loco Toco, definitely the sponsor there on that car. Make sure to get that going right for you the next time. But congratulations again on a dominant early part of this race and a runner-up finish.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to be joined now by the driver who picked up back-to-back wins from last week into this week, the number 9 of Josh Dietz out of Hebron, Kentucky, the Global Com-sponsored car. And a beautiful bright yellow, Josh. I think that's kind of like an intimidation factor to the competition out there. But a good battle that you had there with Linkowitz, and you're able to just come flying through this field, take over the lead, and extend it out to a 1-second gap at one point. Heading through some lap traffic, you maneuvered through that well, and a lot of pressure, especially winning week one. You wanted, shots fired out of week one. You wanted to come back and do it again. You claim that you're going to be in the top 3, and my friend, you definitely do it in fashion here at Five Flags. Tell us a little bit about your night.
Yeah, I don't run races to run second. I want to win, and that's what I show up to do. So I'd rather wreck out trying to win than run second and not get a chance. But yeah, I had a faster car than him. Him and Hunter Combs, they were playing this little game where they would both jump to start, and I'd get stuck on the outside. I'd have to get back around Hunter, and then try to run around him. And I caught up to him, and I got a chance. So I gave him a little bump and got under him, and he gave me another bump. But then I drove away, got about a second lead, and I just tried to maintain that. I was worried I was going to get a yellow. I didn't want to stretch the lead out too far and hurt my tires doing it. So I wanted to keep him cool and then keep about that second lead, like you were saying.
And I tell you what, it's a beautiful night at this track, warmer conditions. We saw some guys make some adjustments, and whatever you have done to that car, it definitely came to life, and you're able to rally it ahead of the field. Stay there, lead a total of 38 laps, and I tell you what, now you definitely got a target on your back. Guys are going to be looking for you heading into week number 3.
Yeah, we should have a pretty good car, I think. We actually were working on that setup while the last chance qualifiers were going on, and we made a mistake of actually building that setup for night. So when we hopped in there, we realized it wasn't night. We had to make some changes, but I guess it worked out.
Well, definitely a excellent job done. We got Lanier coming up next week. Is there anything that you could give the folks an expectation there for there? I mean, are we going to have some more shots fired from the 9 car?
Yeah, I'd like to make it 3 in a row, but we'll see. I mean, I think Josh Berry's going to be back, and he's pretty good, and I'm sure he's going to be some pretty good competition there, so we'll have to get a good setup going for that.
All right, well, congratulations. Any final thanks that you would like to give?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Scott Nosland. He's actually one of my new sponsors. He makes this Fanatec brake mod, but it actually works for pretty much all pedals if you look him up. He makes the same thing Fanatec makes, but it's about half the price, so if anybody needs something to stiffen their brake up, message him on iRacing here.
Might have to put that one through tech.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Josh. We look forward to seeing you next week at Lanier.
Thank you.
Well, folks, before we let you go, we're going to have a wild card interview here. Typically only do the top 3, but I think this one deserves an interview. I'm going to be joined now with the 89 of Jeremy Adams. And I tell you what, Jeremy, I think you gained a lot of fans here tonight with those epic saves that you had out of turn 3 and 4. A little bump in action there with Brad Wright a couple of times. And you're able to save that car. I tell you, tell us, and tell the viewers out there, what were your thoughts and trying to endure that, knowing that you got tagged in the back left quarter panel and you had to save that car?
Main thought was don't wreck, and then kind of get it gathered back up, try to get back up through there. I should have had I had a second place car at the least, but me and Josh had the same setup. But I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it so much behind the wheel.
Well, definitely an excellent job, well done to save those machines. And I know I see now here in the audience, everybody cheering for you, and heck of a job done, heck of a saves done. But we'll give you, since the floor is yours, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
All my teammates helped me for this. We had Scott Naslin, and we're running his brake mods now. If anybody check the forums on them. And then Josh Dietz, and then we had Brad helping us today, and then I think John Laddie coming and helped us today. And then I want to say thanks to the Wolfpack crew. They've been helping us too. Mark Logan, Chad Miller, Ed Clark, John Perkins.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing more action out of the 89 car. Beautiful paint scheme, by the way. Look forward to seeing more action out of it coming into next week at Lanier.
Yeah, I appreciate it. If anybody wants to paint me a car, I'd be happy to run it.
There you have it, folks. Challenge is put on the table. Congratulations again, Jeremy, on your eighth place finish here at Five Flags.
All right, appreciate it.
And, 8th place, folks, for saving that car twice. Heck of a job done by Jeremy Adams in that 89 car. So we have some more racing coming up here. Let's take a look at the results real quick here. Dietz up front, Linkowitz, Combs, DeMerchant, Doucette rounding out the top 5. Hazard, Hobbs, Adams, Cheetah, Wright through the top 10. Moving on back, Hayes, Cook, Krahula, Ryan, Riggs, Hardin, Hurlbert, and it's Kevinberg. I do apologize. I was definitely made aware. I was calling him Keith. I do apologize on that. The 50 car of Kevinberg tonight, finishing 18th. The 65 of Hutchinson, the 77 of Strakota through 20. Rounding out the field, Williamson, Carpenter, Sanborn, Finn, Partridge, Scribner, Beverly, Matthews, Peterson, and Naslin, the man who's making the breaks that we probably should put through tech more often. But that'll round out the field for the late model stocks here at Five Flags. Coming up next, folks, we got a super late model feature. It'll be an evening race coming up here shortly. So definitely stay tuned here to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, or however you're getting us. We do thank you for watching, and we'll be back with a 100-lap feature in the super late model division.
Bristol. It's the world's fastest half mile, often called the last great Coliseum. And now, it's home to the U.S. Nationals of short track racing. Your favorite short track superstars come to Thunder Valley from 6 of your favorite short track divisions. Three tiers of late models are included as they take to the high banks. It's coming May 2017. Bristol, now home to the U.S. Nationals of short track racing. Dreams will become reality.
Brian Keselowski has worked hard to get that youngster where he needs to be, and it's certainly showing here tonight as we watch Chase Purdy, Ryan Wilson, Greg Moore again further back that paddle. Every time we take our eyes off of it, it continues to get a little bit better, and a little bit better, and a little bit crazy. Everybody's starting to back up behind him now as these two still cannot find a way around one another, disperse and dispense from one another. Leaning on the 12 of Wilson now is Chase Purdy. Contact at a turn number 4. Chase Purdy, I think, is getting very upset with Ryan Wilson, at least losing his patience in the situation. And Wilson, I'm sure, is in the exact same boat. Craig Moore has already had one spin tonight. He does not want to go through another, particularly with contact, I'm sure. Look at those two cars leaning on one another as they head towards the start-finish line. R.D. Smith starting to make his way forward in that group as well. Problems, big trouble, turn 3. And it finally came to a head. Watch out, Craig Stallard, nowhere to go. R.D. Smith starting to make his way forward in that group as well. Problems, big trouble, turn 3. And it finally came to a head. Watch out, Craig Stallard, nowhere to go. Ryan Wilson's out of his race car, and he's not going to be very happy, I do not think, with Chase Purdy. He's walking up to the front of the race car. And Ryan Wilson, he's got something in his hand. I'm not sure what, but it's probably going to be airborne here momentarily. Not happy with Chase Purdy. Oh, and look at this. Apparently he thinks Chase Purdy couldn't use his head. And now he's going to go into the race car and throw some punches at Chase Purdy. Ryan Wilson throwing punches at Chase Purdy. He's ripped the window net down to the 41 car.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Donkey Overdrive.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and we're about ready to go racing for another 100-lap feature, the second half of the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200 here at Five Flags. Had a beautiful late model stock race that took place earlier in the evening, but it is going to be under the lights for the super late models as they flip-flop and schedule week in and week out with the late model stock division. Let's take a look at the racetrack information, and I tell you what, favorable night favoring these super lates as we've had a hot early afternoon and late evening race, temperatures exceeding well over 100 degrees towards 107 degrees, I think was the peak at qualifying, but it was about 104 at the start of the late model stock race. And look at this information down below, 76 degrees in the air, 85% humidity, partly cloudy, and a track temperature matching the air at 76. And I tell you what, a major cool-off once that sun has gone down. And it's going to be a lot of grip out here at the half-mile oval for these super late models as they are getting closer and closer to ending their warm-up session and are ready to go racing for their 100-lap feature here in the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200. And again, 30 cars started the field with the late model stocks. We'll have 30 cars here in the super late model feature. And folks, if you haven't done so already, I implore you to check out carsracingtour.com. We are just the eSport version of the great racing that takes place week in and week out during the race season with the Cars Tour, both of their divisions, the super late models and the late model stock. So get on over there, take a look at it. We showed you some highlights of some of the things that they do, and definitely talking about the short track championship that was going to be held at Bristol. Multiple different series taking place in that, so that is something definitely put on your calendar for May. You definitely want to go 10. Take a trip on down to Tennessee and down to Bristol Motor Speedway and check out that great event coming up in May. But in the meantime, here in the off weeks, we are going to be running this 10-race season on Saturday nights, week number 2 here at Five Flags. Coming up next week, it'll be Lanier in week number 3. And we'll see a slew of other East Coast short tracks for both divisions. So I think we're going to actually being told we're going to get an interview for you of a driver of what to anticipate here tonight. Still standing by for that, but tell you what, just still talking about that drop off in track temperature from over 100 degrees down to about 76. It's going to have some favorable passing opportunities that we're going to see from these drivers on the outside line, even though watching that late model stock race earlier, we were seeing guys like Brad Wright running that outside groove and still being competitive in such warmer conditions. We'll have to see what will happen here when you knock about 30 degrees off. So we're going to be joined now. We're going to have a nice little interview here for you before we go racing tonight. Going to be joined now by Daniel Pope II, Going to talk a little bit about tonight's race, giving us a little bit of insight on talking to that 30-degree track fall off. Driver out of Asheville, North Carolina, D&D Repair Incorporated, the sponsors on his card. How you doing tonight, Daniel?
Doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, not too bad. As we take a look and then as sun goes down, boy, did that temperature cool off quick. What can these drivers expect from a driver's perspective? What can you clue the viewers out there of what they can expect that these drivers are going to endure on the cooler tracks?
I know for like my car, it dramatically changed the amount of grip it has, and I'm a lot tighter now than where I had practiced. So I'm saying the majority of people are going to have to work on keeping the cars freed up, and I think hopefully later in the race, maybe the top line will work in a little bit, and we can do some side-by-side racing with the temperatures down and not slide around so much.
Definitely more favorable conditions, as we've said before. But how do you like Five Flags on your rank of loving tracks to hating tracks to just wanting to get through tracks? Where does Five Flags rank for you?
This is probably one of my worst tracks on iRacing, so the fact that I was able to qualify 13th, I'm pleasantly surprised with. On a scale of 10, I would be about a 3 saying I like this place. So I never got an opportunity to go down there and run when I was racing late model stocks, so the only time I get to run, it's on here.
But all right, so with that being said, do you have a favorite track? Where is your favorite track that you can definitely say every time I walk into that track, I know I'm going to be competitive and possibly come out with a victory?
On here, it's probably Langley, but in real life, it was the Nashville Fairgrounds. It was always my favorite track.
Definitely will have to vouch to get that one scanned and put into iRacing. Maybe see if you can give us some perspective. Is there any tracks that you've driven on outside of iRacing that you've driven on inside of iRacing? Is there any that you can compare, both having the real world presence and the virtual world presence?
I mean, I've been to South Boston. I've been to the Martinsville. And those two tracks are spot on. I mean, iRacing did an amazing job with the scanning of them. I'm pretty impressed with how the visuals look and how it drives, and it's nice to be able to correlate stuff over. It's a little bit different, but it's not bad at all.
Well, it's definitely a nice perspective to have a driver to be able to say, hey, how close is iRacing to the real world track? And to see, I've talked with multiple drivers and they say it's pretty close. So it's awesome to see that these guys can come out here and race these tracks knowing they're pretty much going to get the same thing they would in the real world, just not the G-force or probably some of the intensity that you'd get or the heat. I'm sure that builds up in a lot of these cars, given the fact of the warm race that we had earlier. But definitely appreciate you coming into the booth, talking a little bit about the race coming up tonight. And is there anything that you'd like to leave the viewers with before we let you go?
I just hope everybody enjoys it. Appreciate the guys that are putting this series on and the Cars Tour. And I had retired from racing before the Cars Tour came about, so it's kind of cool to be able to. It was the Hooters Pro Cup back then, or the Pro Cup series. So it's kind of cool they're doing this for the iRacer guys, and it caught my attention and got me back on iRacing. I'd been off of here for a while, but it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate those guys for bringing it back. And I hope all the fans out there that watch this enjoy watching the racing.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Daniel, for your time up here in the booth talking a little bit about it, and we hope to see some great things from you coming ahead.
Thanks, man. Y'all have a good day.
Well, there you have it, folks. Daniel Pope II with a little bit of an interview talking about the race coming up here tonight and what they can expect. Nice always to get a racer's perspective on what the viewer, as a viewer and as the person calling the race, what these guys can expect week in and week out. All right, well, it looks like the hot lap session has come to a close. We're ready to go look at your starting lineup for this 100-lap feature in the Freeman Lawn and Outdoor 200. Let's take a look. So on the pole, surprise, surprise, he was on the pole in the late model stocks with a 16.63, the 53 of James Leakowitz. Winning that pole here tonight to the outside will be the 68 of Jesse Kaplan. Just 3 1,000ths of a second, or excuse me, get my time right. Just 0.03 off of him. We'll just use decimals here, folks. In the side of that second row, the number 5 car, Thomas Hazard, will have the late model stock back-to-back winner, Josh Dietz, to the outside. In rounding out your top 5, back in row number 3 to the inside lane, the number 45 of Ashton Crowder. To the outside is the 39 of Bill Martin. Row number 4 will have the 24 of Jeremy Allen to the inside, Jeremy Adams to the outside in the 89 car. 2 Jeremys, 1 row. We'll have to see what happens out of that. But back in row number 5 to the inside lane, the number 17 of Chad Miller will have the 3rd position of late model stock, the number 3 of Hunter Combs. Now to round out your top 10. Looking on back in your starting lineup here in 11th position, it is Seth the Merchant, Brody Hayes, Daniel Pope II, Cody McCauley, James Krahula, Stephen Burnett, Tommy Ryan, Dwight Beverly, Christian Peterson, Alex Scribner through 20. And whoops, got a little bit of messed up here, but we'll move it on back. 21, Ryan Doucette, James Ouellette, Stephen Matthews, Kevin Berg, we'll get that correct, Matt Holden, Mike Rhino, Tim Knott, Ricky Harden, Dylan Little, and Patrick Fogel shotgun on the field. Folks, we are ready to go racing for 100 laps of super late model race action here at Five Flags. Race number 2 coming your way. And Linkowitz up front again. As the pace car on the final pace lap takes him through that backstretch under the lights here at Five Flags. 76 degrees the temperature. We're ready to go racing. Pace car will be into the pits, this time by Linkowitz to set that pace coming off of turn 4. There goes the pace car. Coming off of turn 4 towards that green flag. Linkowitz takes off. There's the green flag. We're off to the race. Side-by-side action. Into the backstretch. James Linkowitz out front. Jesse Kaplan back in 2nd position. Thomas Hazard, the 5 machine, in 3rd. Hazard trying to hold off 2 cars as that 45 car of Ashton Crowder to the inside of the 9 of Josh Dietz. First caution flag coming out on lap number 2. And a big pile up off of turn number 2 in the backstretch. And a few different cars, and it looks like Cody McCauley is going to be one of them involved in it. Let's go back and take a look at that replay. So as we follow Cody McCauley in the first lap, a lot of door slamming going on. And right there, the helping hand from McCauley to the 37 of Brody Hayes. Hayes is going to get spun around in the 0, I believe that's a 0-4. Is going to meet in the back as well. And McCauley's going to go up to the wall. The 0-4 of Dylan Little met with a little bit of action to the side of Hayes as he spun out. Also seeing up the track, the 0-2 machine getting a little bit loose as well. Getting out the race nerves early on in that 0-2, Dwight Beverly. So McCauley, a little bit of damage on his car early on. Same scenario for Linkowitz as it was in the late model stock. Up front, both races. He dominated the first 62 laps before being passed by the 9 of Josh Dietz, who currently in this race back in 5th position. And for those of you who may be just tuning in for this race, take a look at that new pace car, the Porsche pace car. iRacing has lent to the oval track world. New paint scheme replacing the gold Mustang that they had just 1 week ago. So the one to go from the flag stand. Lights come off the pace car. We're going to be set to go back green on lap number 8. Linkowitz is going to have Kaplan to the outside. Hazard will be in a favorable inside line. As Ashton Crowder to the outside, Josh Dietz back there in 5th. We'll have Bill Martin to the outside. Both of them race together in the Sim-Auto Racing Association League. Pace car will be set to go into the pits. This time by as it dips in now. Linkowitz to set that pace coming off turn 4. Let's see how he takes off. There's the green flag. We're back to race. Lap number 8. Linkowitz with a beautiful restart. Storms out to over 3/10 of a second lead. Fires down the backstretch. Here comes the 68 of Jesse Kaplan. Now underneath 3/10 of a second, about a quarter second behind him as they come into the front stretch towards lap number 9. Thomas Hazard back in 3rd has Josh Dietz, who looks to be a faster car. Really starting to put some pressure on the 5 of Hazard. Dietz working that lower groove. Martin back behind Dietz. And a major gap, about a 4 or 5 car length gap between Kaplan and Hazard before the caution flag comes out. And a major pile up here in turn number 1. We've seen Ricky Harden come out of it. Let's go back and take a look. We're going to follow the 15 of Ricky Harden into the onslaught that was turn number 1. Harden looked to arrive late to that major pile up. It looked like he didn't have much damage. Just ahead as we pan up. You're going to see, we're going to slow it up for you. Heading up into the major turn up as we see the 37 there of Brody Hayes involved in it. Definitely not a night for the 37. Actually, well, as we pass this by, we'll take you on board here. Of Brody Hayes. And Matt Holden also involved in it. Going to give you an idea. A couple different cars down there. Alex Scribner as well. Heavy damage there. I think it's the 29 car. I can't tell because of the smoke. Matt Holden, another one of the drivers, having a lot of smoke and possibly just shutting the engine off to avoid it blowing there. So Holden will be down pit road with a few other drivers. So early on, a few drivers, we've seen Dwight Beverly involved in an incident. The 02 car has called it quits as that car looks to be off of pit road and look to be putting up in the trailer. A few of the drivers down pit road now as we see Ryan Doucette, James Krahula down on pit road. Run about 16 to 20 second pit times. John Ouellette, Cody McCauley, Stephen Burnett down on pit road. Daniel Pope, we got to talk with him early on. He's down on pit road now, currently getting his car serviced.
Like you're back on the pace car, we're not going green.
So we had the one to go, was ready to go back green on lap number 16. We're going to extend it out one more lap. Race control not happy with the current setup of all the drivers that came down pit road trying to give them an opportunity to get off pit road. So as we head into lap number 16 and the lights come off the pace car, here's your race summary in the bottom left. One lead change so far, although that coming by way underneath the yellow. Not an official lead change. 2 total cautions. Here's your top 5. Kaplan is showing up front. Linkowitz, Hazard, Dietz, and Martin. And it is Linkowitz that is deemed up front. Here we go. Back to the green on lap number 17. And Linkowitz takes back over the race lead. Side-by-side action between Dietz and Hazard. Dietz to the outside of Thomas Hazard. And a little checkup bump there from Bill Martin from behind. Side-by-side into turn number 1. Josh Dietz to the outside. Losing way to the 5 of Hazard as Bill Martin to the inside. Oh, and Dietz cuts down in front of Martin, nearly wrecks himself. Jeremy Adams back there is going to come off the wall. And we got a caution flag. Not as of that, though. Oh, my. That was a heck of a maneuver. Tell you what, let's go back. We're going to go back and take a look at that. That wasn't the result of the caution, but it's worth a look. Dietz trying to be aggressive here in front of Bill Martin. And we'll go on board with Bill Martin just so you can get a first-person perspective look at this. Dietz basically knocked the nose of Bill Martin clean off. There's Martin behind Hazard. Dietz to the outside, that 9 car. Right here, you're going to see him come down right in front of him. The bad boy from USA, indeed, as he cuts right across from Bill Martin, nearly wrecking himself. As we pan out to the outside camera so you can get a better look at Dietz there. He's going to glide up the track. You can see Jeremy Adams back there as well, and I think it's the 3 car that we see down there. If I'm not mistaken, that's Hunter Combs. Down there as well, and I think that is officially what brought out the caution. A lot of checkup in anticipation of a wreck between the maneuver of Dietz and Adams also, who went up into the wall. Caused a possible chain reaction that resulted, and I think Hunter Combs went down to the inside of that apron. Hunter Combs currently back in 12th, and I think he's going to be relegated a few more positions back. Some other drivers down. John Ouellette down, looking to come down pit road. So we heard something by way of that. May have possibly need to get back down there. The 50 car there of Kevin Berg. Swinging wide, we see a few other drivers coming around. A few other drivers down pit road. Stephen Burnett seeing some pit action. Ryan Doucette still getting, just had got that Gatorade machine some refueling. Chad Miller down on pit road as well. A few different drivers sitting down there trying to get some of that damage early on worked out. Lights off the pace car. We're ready to go back green on lap number 25. Linkowitz still the car to beat. Total of 20, we're going to say 23, even though it says 22. I think that passed by Kaplan and registered there. Pace car into the pits. Linkowitz off 4. Back to the green on lap 25. Jesse Kaplan in second. Thomas Hazard in the lower groove back in third. Now the 24 of Jeremy Allen to the inside of Bill Martin in the battle for that 4th position slot. Martin to the outside. And that's Speedco Chevrolet. Off of turn 4, edges out Bill Martin. Jeremy Allen. Back behind Allen is the 45 of Crowder. Martin still running the outside groove, makes it down in. As he was clear of Crowder before turn number 3. So Bill Martin now in the top 5 here on lap number 28. Single file action from the top 10 drivers. As we see Hunter Combs now in 9th position. Was in 12th under the yellow. As we jump back up front, Linkowitz off of 2 into the backstretch here on lap 30. Over a half a second towards 6/10 of a second lead over the 68 of Jesse Kaplan. 30 laps now complete. 70 to go. Off of turn 4 into the front stretch. Bill Martin looking to the inside of Jeremy Allen. Allen looking to the inside of Hazard. It's a close-knit battle between these drivers. As Jeremy Allen takes a peek now. Blocks out Bill Martin as Bill Martin was seeking that inside groove. Little push there from Allen in turn 2. Hazard to the outside is going to lose out as Jeremy Allen and Bill Martin now looking to pass him on the inside. The 45 of Crowder looks to come down. Martin looking to the inside of Allen. Through turn number 2 into the backstretch here on lap number 34. Bill Martin looking to the inside of the 24 of Jeremy Allen yet again. Tommy Ryan now looking to be involved in the action there in 6th position for the number 6. Right there behind Ashton Crowder as he heads through turns 3 and 4. Looking back to James Krahula in the action. Number 18 machine to the inside of John Ouellette, who's to the outside. Side-by-side action and just ahead is Thomas Hazard falling back to 8th position. Now Hunter Combs looking to the inside. Here in turns 3 and 4. Christian Peterson to the 23 car right behind Hunter Combs. Looking at lower groove as they work out of turn number 2, back into the backstretch. Peterson looking to the inside of Combs. He's going low. Oh, and a little bit of bump action there from the 18 of Krahula to Thomas Hazard. Here comes Jeremy Adams right there behind Krahula. Nice little battle up here as Jeremy Adams has closed the gap. Jesse Kaplan falling back to 3rd as Bill Martin got around. Lap traffic ahead to the high side. I believe that might be the 51 of Alex Scribner as the lead lap cars go by the inside. And now Jeremy Allen to the inside of Jesse Kaplan as they come through turn number 2. Allen working that lower groove in turn 3. Here comes Ashton Crowder. Off of the 4th turn into the front stretch. Allen still has a nose over Kaplan, holding on to that 3rd position slot. And he's going to clear him before turn 3. Ashton Crowder. Ball suit into 4th, pushing Kaplan back into 5th position. Tommy Ryan looking to close the gap on the 68. Linkowitz through turn number 4 into the front stretch. Almost a 2-second lead as he heads into lap number 44. Allen back in 3rd, Crowder in 4th. Running that outside line, trying to be competitive there to Christian Peterson. Got about a half a car length over Peterson. He's going to clear him out of 2. Peterson looking to the inside, back behind his teammate Seth the Merchant. The 35 machine just ahead. Both Peterson and DeMerchant solid modified drivers looking really decent here tonight in the 5 Flags race here, the super late models. Battling out of turn number 4. Demerchant's going to take an aggressive move to the inside of Jesse Kaplan here on lap 47, but Kaplan closes the door coming out of turn number 2. Let's see what happened. Demerchant's going to look to the inside. Teammate Peterson follows with him. Kaplan and Combs to the outside. Continuing the battle to the inside here on lap 48 as Seth Demerchant clears. Had Kaplan cleared. Still going to be side by side heading into turn 3. Combs to the outside of Peterson. And Kaplan is going to give way to the 35 of Demerchant. Demerchant now into 6th position. Peterson, teammate, looking to the inside of Hunter Combs. Kaplan just ahead. Combs falls back to 8th. Looking to get down into that lower groove. He's been showing signs he wants to be there, but Kaplan's to his inside. Not quite clear of that 68. And a little push there from Kaplan's going to push Combs up the track. Peterson to the inside. I tell you what, Christian Peterson, known for his aggressive maneuvering, almost shot to the apron a few laps ago. Bill Martin holding off some drivers there as we see the 55 of Fogel. Not exactly a position battle there. Martin in second, about 1.8 seconds behind your race leader, James Linkowitz, as we've surpassed the halfway point of tonight's race. Crowder back in 3rd position, about 4 seconds behind your race leader. Jeremy Allen in 4th position. Tommy Ryan now gets up into 5th, and he's got Demerchant closing the gap quick. Peterson able to get around Jesse Kaplan, now behind Hunter Combs in 8th position. Combs up in 7th, teammate of Peterson is Seth Demerchant up there in 6th. Peterson looking to the inside of Combs in turn 4 towards the front stretch. He's going to slide a little bit, gets loose. Nothing doing there. He was trying to get a little bit of track on Hunter Combs. Maybe look to the inside, force him up the track. Wasn't going to happen. As Hunter Combs continuing to run, and Patrick Fogel, that 55 car to the outside of Tommy Ryan. More lap traffic ahead. 2 different lap cars up to the high side. Creates a little bit of a checkup cluster there. That 17 car we see now tag the wall a couple different times. Chad Miller might have a little bit of towing problem with that front right tire as he keeps going up into the wall. Up towards 3rd position now as we follow Ashton Crowder. A little bit of lap traffic in between Crowder and Allen. Allen has Tommy Ryan behind him. Just about 0.2 of a second behind as they work their way through turn number 2 into the backstretch here on lap 61. Combs yet again still trying to get around Christian Peterson. Tommy Ryan setting himself up for a possible pass around the lap traffic. That is Cody McCauley to the high side of Peterson and Demerchant. 3 wide action almost as they head through turn 2. As McCauley backs off just a little bit, allowing the 23 car of Peterson by. More lap traffic ahead to the outside as Dylan Little, the 94 machine, had a great race in the late model stock race earlier. And the 41 machine now holding up traffic. That is Tim Knott back in 24th position as Jeremy Adams is going to slow up just a little bit. That's going to bring Tommy Ryan closer. And some flip-flop move action through there. Peterson trying to make something happen through there. Trying to gain some ground there on Tommy Ryan. Caution flag comes out on the track. And we see Daniel Pope moving a little bit slow, not seeing too much damage on him. Let's go back and we'll follow him and see if we can capture maybe what brought out this caution. So we're going to follow the 16 here of Daniel Pope II. So it's Josh Dietz. Issue there going on with the 9 car. As we reel back the camera, we'll look at Josh Dietz and see what happened. I think there was possible contact with Kevin Berg to the back of Dietz. Right there in turn number 2, Kevin Berg to the inside of Josh Dietz. And Dietz is going to go for a spin out there. Pretty much gets dragged all the way through the backstretch as the cars are pretty much locked up. Kevin Berg's going to come away. Dietz forced to the inside. He's going to hit the fence. Maybe he's going to miss it. He'll miss it. He'll stay on the throttle there just a little bit to avoid contact. Definitely can tell some damage as a result to that 9 car. He's going to fall back to about 18th position. So as they cross the start-finish line coming up, it's going to be 30 laps remaining in the race. Here's a look at your top 5. James Linkowitz up front, Bill Martin in second, Ashton Crowder third, Jeremy Allen fourth, Tommy Ryan rounding out your top 5. There's your race summary. Out of the 69 completed, or 70 completed now. 2 lead changes is showing. Even though we haven't seen any lead changes for total cautions. So the pace car is set to go into the pits this time by, there it goes, Linkowitz to set that pace coming off 4. Here he goes, back to the green on lap number 72. As they file double wide out into the backstretch. Bill Martin trying to make some maneuvers. He's going to be the outside line, the 45 of Ashton Crowder to the inside as they come through the backstretch into turn number 1. Now they're working their way into the backstretch, and Bill Martin trying to edge out the 45 of Crowder. Nice little side-by-side battle off of turn number 4 into the front stretch. Martin to the outside looking solid. He's got some momentum. A fight back and forth. Christian Peterson's teammate, Seth the Merchant, now in 4th. Peterson back there in 6th. Split between Jeremy Allen, who has Tommy Ryan back behind him. And Bill Martin's going to win the battle for 2nd as Crowder falls back to 3rd. Tommy Ryan seeing some side-by-side action with Christian Peterson as they come off turn 4. Tommy Ryan looks like he's going to win the bout for 6th position. Hunter Combs to the inside, back behind Ryan. Peterson's looking a little wobbly coming out of turn number 2. DeMerchant to the high side as Allen looking underneath. And Christian Peterson falls behind Tommy Ryan in 7th. Hunter Combs back to 8th position. DeMerchant sandwiched between 2 cars, Crowder and Allen. He's looking to the inside of Crowder. Here comes Seth DeMerchant. Can he get 3rd position? Off of turn number 4, side by side, across that start-finish line. The 45 of Crowder to the outside's losing way out into the backstretch. How about Bill Martin? Bill Martin just 0.2 of a second behind Linkowitz as they come off turn 4 across that start-finish line. Next time by, it'll be 20 laps to go. Martin looking to the inside of Linkowitz. Into the front stretch. Linkowitz is going to tag the wall. Martin to the inside. We've got a new race leader as Bill Martin passes the 53 of James Linkowitz to take the race lead here on lap number 81. Into the backstretch, Martin has pulled over to almost a 0.3 of a second lead. Caution flag's going to come out here on lap 82. And it looks like the 16 of Pope's going to come back down pit road. Also seeing Jesse Kaplan come down pit road. Oh, and a near miss there from Kevin Bird. As Mike Reno was kind of moving through the track. Looking to get a wave around as he's in the lucky dog slot. So Bill Martin up front, late in the race. Next time by, it's going to be 15 laps to go. Here's a look at your top 5, folks. Dominant night in both divisions for James Linkowitz. 62 laps led in the late model stock, 79 laps led so far, as this one's not over here in the super late model feature. But it's Bill Martin, Linkowitz, DeMerchant, Crowder, and Allen. Did a nice little battle up front for a few laps. There's that pivotal move as Martin sent Linkowitz up the track off of 4. Linkowitz tagged the wall. That paved the way for a dive in to turn 1 for the 39. Was able to take over the race lead. We should see the 1-to-go signal here from the pace car. This time by. Be back green on lap 88. 13 laps to go when we get the green flagged, folks. How about that new pace car? Everybody bunching up as they anticipate the restart. Pace car into the pits. Bill Martin to set that pace and watch for an early restart. Off of turn number 4, he takes off. Back to the green. Linkowitz to the outside, was ready for it. He's going to dive down into the lower groove right in front of Seth DeMerchant. Ashton Crowder to the outside of DeMerchant as they fire out of 2 into the backstretch. Jeremy Allen back there in 5th position. DeMerchant looking to the inside of Linkowitz as they come across the start-finish line into turn number 1. Crowder's falling back. Some side-by-side action between Allen and Crowder as they work through turns 3 and 4. May have had some contact. Allen out of 4th with a nose over Crowder for 4th position. Peterson looking to push Allen in that lower groove. Next time by, it's going to be 10 laps to go, and what a battle. Crowder gets door slammed by Allen. He's going to go up the track. That's going to allow Peterson by. So Jeremy Allen moves into 4th. Christian Peterson 5th. Ashton Crowder falls back to 6th. And now Peterson looking to the inside of Jeremy Allen here in turns 3 and 4. With 10 laps to go, now 9 as Martin crosses that start-finish line. Christian Peterson has now moved his way up into 4th position. DeMerchant looking to the inside of Linkowitz, now to the outside. Can he get around the 53 machine? It's going to be 8 laps as Martin crosses that start-finish line. 12 laps led now for the 39. Like Krahula back there up on the wall had some contact as we continue to follow up front here. Ashton Crowder back behind Jeremy Adams. Now the 71 of Ryan Doucette looking to the inside of Ashton Crowder. Side-by-side action between Thomas Hazard and John Ouellette. Number 6 of Tommy Ryan will find himself by the 5 car to the inside. Laps winding down here at 5 Flags. Bill Martin across that start-finish line, 5 laps to go. He's got a nice dominant 6/10 of a second lead over James Linkowitz. Linkowitz cannot shake DeMerchant. DeMerchant pushing a little bit to the outside in turns 3 and 4. He's going to fire back into the front stretch, catch some momentum. Still looking about a 1/10 of a second behind the 53 car. 4 laps to go. Teammate Christian Peterson back behind him in 4th position. Jeremy Allen in 5th. 3 laps remain here at 5 Flags, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy Ryan's going to go for a spin. Hunter Combs gets into it. And that is it, folks, here at 5 Flags. The field is frozen. Bill Martin will take victory. We go back and take a look at the final caution on the night. So as we follow the incident here, Tommy Ryan's going to get into it. Bring you down closer to the action. Right about here, you're going to see Ryan Doucette cleared and a little bit of a bumper tag to the 30 machine. And Hunter Combs just to the inside of Tommy Ryan. They're going to go for a spin, and that is going to bring out the final caution here in the super late model feature at 5 Flags. 3 cars, resulting in the end of that. And Tommy Ryan escaping with minimal damage. Hunter Combs as well. It's going to have some damage on his car. But ultimately, it was the 30 car of John Ouellette that's going to get turned around. So there it is, folks. Heading towards that checkered flag, Bill Martin taking victory. here at Five Flags. I think he's trying to do a burnout. Well, they're just going to come up here and park on the front stretch. Give the photographers a nice little camera shot as Linkowitz pulls up beside him. Beautiful battle between the two here tonight. So we're going to go ahead and bring up the results screen here as we look to get you some driver interviews. And how about the battle here? We've seen this guy endure tonight. The 35 of Seth DeMerchant really fought his way through the field. And DeMerchant looking really, really solid, especially at coming in with a podium finish, taking that P-Money Designs car all the way up into third. How's your night going, Seth?
Really good. Had the car set up really good for the long run. You know, I felt like there at the end I had a good enough car to get by James, but don't think I had enough for Bill.
The car looked really solid. You had your buddy Christian Peterson. I know you guys have been teammates in the past, and you really worked your guys' way. It seemed like you guys kind of hooked up and worked your way through the field there, battling against guys like Jeremy Allen, Ashton Crowder, Thomas Hazard, and Hunter Combs at times. And definitely, I'm sure you feel pretty comfortable having a guy that you've relied on in the past being a teammate running there with you. And actually, he's going to finish fourth here at Five Flags.
Yeah, definitely. You know, when you have someone like that behind you, you can rely on him, you know, especially when he's a teammate. He can let you back in and rely on him not to just throw it in there. So it makes it kind of easier for me when he's behind me. I can just run my line and not really have to worry about him and pick our way up there.
Definitely a solid job done here tonight. You're able to finish third here. We go into Lanier next week. Is there any anticipation what the 35 car might do there?
Not really. I've actually never run there before in the Super, so looking forward to it.
All right. Well, is there any final thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give?
Just all the guys at Six-Man, Christian, Ashton for working with us this week. All the guys, you know, that put in the setup work, and just P-Money Designs for making the cars.
All right. Well, congratulations on the third-place finish here at Five Flags. We look to see some more action out of you next week when we head into Lanier.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to be joined now by the 53 of James Linkowitz. He had a great night in the late model stock, led 62 laps there, came out here in the super late model division, took poles in both, and he's able to come out in the super lates, lead a total of 79. We're going to actually call it 80 laps because I think one of the drivers, I think Bill Martin, snagged one from you under yellow. But we'll call it 80 laps led here at Five Flags. You take the 53 car all the way into second here tonight out of Michigan City, Indiana. And one more time on that sponsor name.
Loco Toco.
Loco Toco. There you have it, the Loco Toco number 53 car. So, James, you got to play hard in both divisions. Do you have a favorite so far?
I really enjoyed the super and the late model. I don't think anyone betters the other, but I don't know, this place, man, you're just hanging on. You're just hanging on the whole time. I think it was just out of control the whole run.
And sounds good, and you're able to do it well. And late in the race, though, we've seen some action coming off of turn 4 when Bill Martin passed you on the inside. Did the car just kind of get a push there? Did you have some contact from Martin that kind of got you into the wall there?
No, initially I got loose, and he had a good run on me, and I missed turn 1 because when I got loose, it got tight going in, and it was just a bunch of errors on my part, but he definitely had the better car, so I expected him to get there and make the pass eventually anyway. He's a team car, and he worked on his stuff a little more than I did, so hats off to him.
All right, we got a question from the audience coming by way of Ty Spearman. Wants to know, who is your new best friend?
Not the person he thinks.
All right. Well, great job done here tonight, James, especially in both divisions. It's got to be tough to do double duty and come out and be that competitive, but here at Five Flags, you're able to do it in style. Finish second in both races, not a small feat by any means. Next week, we go into Lanier. What can we expect out of that 53 car?
I think we're going to look for a strong run there. That's one of my favorite tracks. Usually run really well there, so certainly looking forward to that one.
All right. Was there any additional thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Just want to thank Loco Toco Designs once again and the posse. Everyone there just does a great job helping one another with setups. And hats off to Bill Martin. They did a great job, and sucks for my teammates Hunter and Kevin. They got caught up in some wrecks, but they'll be back next week too. So look forward to some good runs.
All right. Well, excellent job done here tonight, James. We look forward to seeing that 53 in the future.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. The 53 car, the Loco Toco, number 53 of James Linkowitz, coming in second in both features here tonight. We're going to be joined now by the 39 machine. He was able to pass Linkowitz on lap 81 to take over the race lead. Excellent job done to finish it off in style. The number 39 of Bill Martin out of Madison, Wisconsin, part of the posse crew. And you had a lot of guys out there rooting for you tonight, Bill, and you're able to finish first up here in the Super Lates. How you feel?
I feel like I didn't expect to win this race. This is the first time in a while that I've actually done some testing. Whenever I usually run these longer races like this and do testing, there's almost a certainty or a guarantee that I will be in the first crash. No matter where you are on the track, you're going to be in the first crash. That's how it goes. So, but fortunately, this time it went pretty good.
It seems like if you avoid it, you're doing really well. And, you know, we had a chance to cover you in that one race way back in the Sarah League where you're able to overcome Derek Robinson for the victory. We called it the win. And tonight, and even in the fall brawl, looked pretty competitive. But tonight here at Five Flags, definitely a good night here for the 39 car picking up victory. And what was your thought? Give the viewers a taste of your thoughts here. Coming off of turn 4, when the inside lane opened up on Linkowitz, and you fired that car down in turn 1, knowing that you had the race lead. How did that feel?
Felt pretty good. Speaking of the fall brawl, I'm kind of wishing that I had tested for that too, because I did no testing for that. But, when you're in a race with potentially Ty Majeski and then Cody Kelly, why test? They're going to kick your butt.
Appreciate the save on that one. But is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your victory here at Five Flags?
Actually, I'm probably going to talk for another half hour, 45 minutes about all the things that I like and love. We're going to start with I really like hobbyist cars. They're a lot of fun. I hate peas. I'm a really big fan of pizza. Now, okay, in all seriousness, I want to thank the posse for always being very, very supportive. They're a great bunch of guys. This time around, I actually used my own setup, so I tried to talk James into using it, but he wouldn't use it. I bet he wishes he used it now. But yeah, just special thanks to the posse. To you as well, and to this league, you do a really great job on these broadcasts by making it fun to listen to. You make it a lot more fun to listen to because you call it like a race, and I really appreciate that. And great job to people who run this league. They do a great job. It takes up a lot of time, though. I don't think I'm going to run many more of these races. I like to go out on the weekends sometimes.
Well, there you have it. But congratulations, Bill, on your victory here tonight. We hope to see more action out of that 39 car going forward. But nevertheless, heck of a job done here at Five Flags.
Thanks a lot. One final shout-out. Sarah Race League. Best league in the business, and these guys are a close second.
All right, a little fun there from a guy who likes to have a lot of fun, the 39 of Bill Martin. Well, what a great night of racing either way, folks. Both divisions, the late model stock and the super late models, putting down some great race action here at Five Flags. Let's take a look at the race results on your screen as the 39 of Bill Martin picking up victory here at Five Flags. Was able to pass with about 20 laps to go, passing James Linkowitz to take over the race lead. And Linkowitz will finish second in both divisions here tonight after taking the pole in both as well. 35 of DeMerchant will finish third. Peterson will finish fourth. Allen rounding out your top 5. Crowder, Doucette, Hazard, Combs, and Ryan going all the way through your top 10 here at Five Flags. Looking on back, Jeremy Adams, Ricky Harden, James Krahula, Jesse Kaplan, Cody McCauley, Kevin Berg, Mike Rhino, John Ouellette, and again, folks, if I can get a pronunciation on that guy's name, I do apologize. I'm going with what my elementary vocabulary is taking me, so I do apologize to Mr. Ouellette if that is his correct last name. Hopefully I nailed it. The 9 of Josh Dietz after his incident will finish 19th here, and Patrick Fogle will round out your top 20. Looking on back, Stephen Burnett, Dylan Little, Tim Knott, Alex Scribner, Chad Miller, Daniel Pope II, Stephen Matthews, Matt Holden, Brody Hayes, and Dwight Beverly, rounding out your field of 30 here at Five Flags. Really hope you enjoyed the broadcast here tonight, folks. Start every Saturday night about 7 o'clock, 10 till 7 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook to cover the qualifying action between the two divisions, both the late model stock and the super late models. We definitely hope that you check out the Cars Tour on the web at carsracingtour.com to follow the great events that they got coming up next in the 2017 season. This is the Cars eSport Tour here on Saturday nights. We got a 10-race season, 2 weeks down, 8 to go. Hopefully you tune in the coming Saturday nights to capture this action. But that is going to do it for us here this Saturday night at Five Flags. Check out ChampionshipRacingAssociation.com to know more about the Cars eSports Tour. And if you'd like to know more about iRacing, iRacing.com, and Digital Forge Broadcasting, we're on the web at ForgeBroadcasting.com and on Facebook. Just look up Digital Forge Broadcasting. And that will do us. Great night of racing, great fun, a lot of great place to be, folks. Making a point to be here on Saturdays, and we'll see you coming up next Saturday. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you. Have a good night.